Hello again, Bob Boyne with Trident here with another video in our series related to BlackLine. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a focus on an industry, and that's the insurance industry. And what we're going to focus in on today is a frequent challenge that we see within that industry and a way that BlackLine can help solve that problem. So what that is related to sort of the operational functions within the insurance function, where you're essentially doing reconciliation between three different data points that is very high volume data intensive and is not something that can be managed effectively by an ERP. So that's really around an operational insurance system, your banking information, and your general ledger. So frequent challenge we see out at organizations has to do with the data aggregation between what you're seeing in the bank and what you're seeing in the GL. That doesn't allow you to effectively do that reconciliation. But within BlackLine, we can start to bring all this information in and automate a lot of these processes that today your team might be doing manually. So I'm going to share a few diagrams and talk a little bit about exactly how we structure that. All right. So as promised, we've got our simple diagram up here. And so this is, a diagram showing a simple reconciliation, right? So we've got our ERP cash transactions on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we've got our bank statement transactions. So let's say this is for your operational bank account that deals with policy-related transactions. Just like any organization doing any bank rec at the end of the month, or many times throughout the month, this is something we need to reconcile to ensure the data between both data sources agree and everything's been captured. If you are a smaller insurance company, it might be able to be something that you can achieve just using ERP matching capability. If you're working in ERP that has functionality in this space, probably not, and we'll get into it in a second here, why specifically not. Other organizations, this might be a process that you're managing in Microsoft Excel. But again, probably not with just these sources in isolation. And the reason for that really has to do with data aggregation. And so what I'm talking about here is both sides of the coin are probably, having batch transactions to some degree. And so that batching of transactions means that things don't tie out exactly, and anytime things don't agree on summary, you've got to go back to other data sources outside of just these two data sources to work out what is missing and why. So, when it comes to your ERP, you're using some sort of operational insurance policy system, right? So whether that's I-90 or Guidewire, Duck Creek, you've got some sort of system that is recording all of your policy transactions, and then we're taking information from that system, batching it, and using that to post journals within our ERP. Similar to the bank side, you're going to have batched transactions within your bank. Maybe it's something like BPay or BPoint payment methods where you've got bulk payments showing up in your bank and underlying data sets of the summary that builds that up. Okay? So this is the reason that reconciliation at that higher level doesn't work, because we don't have the lowest level of detail within our data sets when we are doing our process of matching all of that together. So how do we deal with this and help organizations facing this sort of issue? Well, what we can do with BlackLine is bring all of those data sets into BlackLine and basically ensure everything agrees, and then allow us to match at the lowest level of detail. So rather than trying to agree batched transactions on our ERP to batch transactions on our bank side, we really go back to the underlying detail within the policy system, bring all of that in, ensure it ties out to our GL completeness standpoint, and then tie everything, all those different policy transactions that have cash implications, back to our underlying funding methods. So whether that is, one of these payment sources that have been batched into the bank, that's going to be some of the transactions. Other transactions might relate to actual single bank transactions with the system. But we can do it all. So we can bring it all in, ensure everything agrees where it's supposed to agree, and ensure that everything is tying out on that lowest level. And what that allows you to then do is when something doesn't tie, as it inevitably will, we know specifically what is out and can design appropriate actions around that. So effectively, we replace those GL summary transactions with everything that's that underlying detail that builds it up, matched everything out at that transactional level, and we can then design reports and workflows around, transactions that are aging over a certain day, or, routing certain unmatched transactions to different teams to investigate. So really saving a lot of the manual effort that would traditionally have to be done. We're not doing this in an automated fashion. So with a lot of insurance policy systems sort of sunsetting here, a lot of the organizations we're speaking to currently, they're moving to different insurance policy systems and are now being, faced with this issue again with a new set of data sources. So BlackLine can be a very effective tool to help assist in ensuring everything is matched appropriately and quickly getting into those exceptions. Thanks very much.